Tommy's Matchbook is an exotic auto rifle first obtainable from Season of the Worthy. It is obtained currently from rank 1 of the paid Season Pass or rank 35 of the free Season Pass, and it has two distinct perks. The first perk is Ignition Trigger, which says that sustained fire with this weapon overheats it, increasing damage but burning the user in return. And Heatsink says that overheat damage is reduced while not aiming down sights. To explain what these perks do, Ignition Trigger damages the user over a sustained period of firing the weapon. It takes about 20 bullets to start getting damaged, and you will stop getting damaged at around 45 or 25 bullets left in your mag, which is because the weapon only seems to damage your shield. It doesn't damage your actual Guardian's health, so it'll go down to being red in your health bar, and that's it. It won't go any further, but it will keep burning you. You won't regen health, it'll just max out at your health bar going red. It can be bypassed, however, by quickly releasing and pressing the trigger again. This can bypass the overheat effect, but obviously this also bypasses the increased damage which comes with the overheat effect, which effectively doubles the weapon's damage output. Not quite. It is 1.98-ish, depending on what target you're shooting, I would imagine. However, as you can see in the gameplay, it doesn't quite double the damage output on this captain. Heatsink alters how much damage you take from the overheating effect. I found in testing that ADSing with Tommy's Matchbook would cause you to stop being damaged after 55 bullets have been shot, and hip firing would cause you to stop taking damage after 75 bullets have been shot. This is of course whenever you have no more shield left and your health bar is red, at which stage it stops damaging you. But you do, as I say, still experience the burning effect, and you won't regen until you stop shooting the weapon. In general, the weapon is pretty fun and definitely good in PvE. It has a 100 round magazine. It is a fast RPM at 720 RPM, which is pretty fast, I would say. It also has a reasonably fast reload for having 100 rounds in the mag. It does say it's quite long in the stats menu for the weapon, however, as you'll see in the gameplay, it's not actually that long of a reload. And the ornament of Tommy's Matchbook is obtained from rank 100 of the Season of the Worthy Season Pass, the paid Season Pass that is, which is quite a nice breath of fresh air considering that a lot of the exotic weapons I've covered, the ornaments are only obtainable from Eververse, so that's a nice change. Aesthetically, the weapon looks very clean. It is a white aesthetic, and it looks very similar to a Tommy gun that you would have in real life. Obviously this is where the weapon got its name. It is quite interesting, however, that it is not an SMG and that it is instead an auto rifle, as I believe Tommy guns in real life were SMGs, however I could be wrong. And the ornament called the chopper is also very nice looking, and I would say it's quite worth getting to rank 100 in the Season Pass for that ornament. During my adventures in PvE with this weapon, I discovered that it is a very fun weapon to use, and it is definitely very unique. The overheating effect is definitely a different gameplay aspect that you have to kind of be aware of whenever you're shooting the weapon. I got into the habit of shooting around 15 to 20 bullets and then releasing and pressing the trigger again to just stop being overheated and damaging myself. However, once I realised that you can't kill yourself with Tommy's Matchbook, you stop taking damage, as I say, when you hit the red zone in your health bar, I started using the overheat effect a lot more, and the double damage is definitely very nice. I have to say I didn't expect the damage output to be doubled by this effect. I thought it would have been maybe 1.5 times or something like that, but 2 is very nice for this weapon. Obviously it is an auto rifle, however, so it's not like a DPS weapon per se. I'm very glad that it's an energy weapon and not kinetic, obviously because it is an overheating effect, which means it would make sense for it to output solar damage, which it does. So it is a solar energy weapon, it is 100 rounds in the mag, it is a pretty quick reload for being 100 rounds in the mag, and I would say it's very good in PvE. It's definitely very fun, and it is definitely worth giving it a try if you haven't already. And as I say, it's available from rank 1 of the paid Season Pass, and if you don't have the paid Season Pass, you can get it from rank 35 of the free Season Pass. Obviously if you have the paid Season Pass, you still get the free one at rank 35. I played a couple of matches of Crucible with Tommy's Matchbook, and I have to say, I'm not good at Crucible. I switched to PC not that long ago, and this was the first time I think I played Crucible in PC, and I did terribly, but I got a few kills, and I have highlighted them in the gameplay. so please ignore the trash Crucible gameplay. But I was able to get a few kills with the weapon. I was able to get some overheat kills with the weapon as well, and I think if you're actually good at Crucible, it could be pretty good. There are definitely better weapons to use in Crucible, however, I think if you want to freshen things up and maybe stop using, take a break from Recluse or some hand cannons or shotgun, I think Tommy's Matchbook would definitely be a very nice weapon to use, just for a nice change, and it's still a pretty viable weapon, I would say. In relation to Gambit, I would say that the PvE points are pretty relevant in the sense that it is pretty fun to use. It is very viable on Gambit. I didn't really find a situation where it wasn't useful. If you come against solar shields, obviously on the likes of taking captains, it's very useful there. And if you pair it with a shotgun or a linear fusion rifle or something, then it would be very, very useful for blockers, I would say. And 100 rounds in the mag is perfect for a mode like Gambit, where there are a bunch of enemies in a small group, because you can kill them in quick succession, and it's pretty fun. Using it on invaders, I didn't have much success with, so there's no gameplay of that, unfortunately. I didn't get any gameplay of invading either, so I'm not so sure it would be the best weapon for that, especially because you have to contend with the overshield that invaders have, and I would say a special or heavy weapon would be more suitable for that. But you can definitely try it out, and I would say it might be useful. I would say it isn't though. Overall, I would say that Tommy's Matchbook is definitely a very fun and unique exotic. I think it's not the first time, but it's one of the first times maybe that we've had an exotic which damages you in return for damage, for increased damage output that is. I can't think of a weapon which does that, but there might be one in Destiny 1, or maybe I've forgotten a exotic in Destiny 2 which does that. But it's a very unique concept, I think, and purely for just being unique, I think it deserves the exotic title. I tend to rate exotics on their uniqueness as well as how much damage they output. So Tommy's Matchbook would definitely fall under the unique category for exotics, as opposed to the DPS category for exotics, where Sleeper would have used to fall into, or Whisper and that sort of thing. So I would say it definitely fits the exotic title. It is very easy to get, as I said. It is definitely worth using, and I really like the weapon. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the short review. If you did, please consider leaving a like, maybe even subscribing, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.